good morning, everybody, and thank you for coming. This is such a great day in the part of Northglenn. We're really, really excited about this. This redevelopment project will completely transform the former Garland Center into a thriving new grocery store and pharmacy for our residents and the city. This new Walmart neighborhood market will bring new jobs and shopping opportunities into our community. It will increase tax revenues, which support city services for our residents. This is the city's oldest retail center, dating back to the 1960s. There are many fond memories that our residents and myself have shared over the years, including getting ice cream at the Dairy Queen, which, by the way, our former Mayor Odell Berry owned. And buying meat at the local butcher, and buying penny candy in duck walls, as well as memories of longtime businesses like Tugg's Bar and Grill, which became a Northglenn landmark over the years. At this open house for this project, residents expressed that they were thrilled to be able once again to walk over to a local grocery store. Over the past 5 decades, businesses have come and gone at Northglenn, and we have grown from a planned community of 1,000 homes into a municipality of over 35,000 residents. This is very exciting for us. Where have all the years gone? Unfortunately, the aging center was no longer able to sustain itself. The former Safeway building went into foreclosure. The Dairy Queen had been vacated for many years, and the remaining mall was less than 5% occupied. Almost 2 years ago, Walmart announced that they were expanding its neighborhood market into the metro Denver area, and the City of Northglenn staff took this opportunity to begin working with their brokers to identify a location in Northglenn. Walmart looked at several sites, and we are thrilled that they selected the Garland Center for one of their new neighborhood market locations. I'd like to take a moment now to acknowledge and thank everyone involved making this project a reality. First of all, we have many city council people here, and raise your hand, please, or stand to be recognized. And all right, we have Joe Brown, Leslie Carrico, we have Jean Weineke, Wayne Dodge, Marcy Whitman, and if I missed anybody else, let's see, I think I have gotten everybody. But without their support and all the ongoing work, we wouldn't be here today. I know that we will be acknowledging many of the project partners later in this program, but I want to personally recognize and thank the Northglenn Urban Renewal Board for having the vision and taking the risk and making today a reality. We would not be standing here today without your leadership and determination to bring this project to the finish line. Thank you, guys. You did a great job. You are in the and I don't know if the entire board is here, but I see Rosie, who is the chair, Jim Lynch, Jerry Gavette, Ron Coleman, Wayne Dodge, who is also our city council person but is on the board, and Pat McEwen. So please, again, Now I want to take this opportunity to personally welcome Walmart to Northglenn. We are looking forward to the grand opening this summer and having you as one of our corporate partners in the community. Welcome, welcome to Northglenn. Thank you. I'd like to now turn the program over to Rosie Garner, the chair of the Urban Renewals. Come on, Rosie.
We are a city of short people. Except for no. I just want to say thank you to the rest of the Urban Renewal Authority board, who have been very persistent and very patient with this project, and really have thought about it and talked about it over and over and over again, and we spent many meetings talking about this project. So as volunteers for the city, we want what's best for the city, and you should be proud of our Urban Renewal Authority. Everyone here, regardless of how old you are, I'm going to call you a name, and that is old timer, because you are going to witness something new, and you all remember now what was here before. So that makes you an old timer, and you can tell your children and your grandchildren that you were here for the groundbreaking of this Walmart. So consider this a very special day for yourself, and now you can say, I remember when. Say. As a chair of the Urban Renewal Authority Board and a long-term resident in this community, I'm really excited about this incredible redevelopment project and what it represents not only for our community, but also how it clearly symbolizes urban renewal tools and how they can successfully be used to assist in revitalizing a community. This project is a poster project for urban renewal. And we're very pleased on how NURA, the city, Walmart, and all of our partners were able to work together to make this project a reality. And Joe's leaving us now. You too. As one of the old timers, I've been asked to give you a little history on the center. So bear with me. I am old and I do remember things. So the site was vacant agricultural land through the 1950s prior to Northglenn's incorporation. And in August of 1960, the Denver Post announced the construction of a new concept mall at the corner of Washington and Garland, which is right down here. In fact, some historians claim that this is the first indoor mall west of the, or was the first indoor mall west of the Mississippi. In 1962, a 15,000 square foot Safeway and a 10,000 square foot Duckwall's variety store were opened. As the mayor indicated earlier, there's been many different tenants and iterations over the last 50 years. I've been in Northglenn for 40 of those years, so I go back to the early days when this mall was the only place to be, and it was a bustling retail center. For example, I clearly remember the legendary tugs where the steak nights for $2.99 kept a line out the door, and they were delicious, and it was summer and winter. Because Northglenn's always been a working community, I remember Tug's morning happy hour. For those residents, I'm serious. It was like from 6 to 8 in the morning. For those residents who worked the night shift and wanted a beer before they went home to go to bed for the day. This is a true story, I'm telling you. I remember shopping at Safeway and just simply walking through the indoor mall to access the shops that were adjacent. I remember Northglenn's only Dairy Queen and how upset everyone was when we lost it to Thornton, just south of here. Right. But that's in the past, and no community's worth its salt that lives in what was. When the news of redevelopment of the Garland Center was announced, folks started a Facebook page to share their fond memories of the center. People around the nation began reminiscing about their first summer jobs at the Purity Creamery, shopping with their parents and running up and down the mall along with the penny rides that were inside. And now when you visit the site, followers can see the construction progress of this new Walmart. Another interesting tidbit is the classic multicolored box-lettered Garland sign. That's a feature on a website called waymaking.com. If you want to reminisce and see it, just go to waymaking.com and go and search for Garland Center, and it'll pop right up. It's a site that gives tribute to vintage signs of Americana. For those of you who are interested, the sign is lying in a restful state at our M&O building, waiting for a new home. due to some citizens' concern about preservation. So you can visit it anytime if you like. As the city's oldest retail center, it was one of the hardest to redevelop. Over 10 years ago, the Garland Center was included in the urban renewal area, in an urban renewal area, and identified in a future redevelopment project. This property had significant barriers to redevelopment, including multiple property owners, aging infrastructure, environmental issues, and a 95% vacancy rate. Needless to say, we were ecstatic when Walmart was interested in the site. However, no project of this complexity and size comes without some hard work in the background. Even though Walmart wanted this site, property negotiations weren't going very well, and so NERA took the risk to purchase this site from at least the Safeway portion of it / bingo barn from the bank, which it was in foreclosure. Currently, we were negotiating with the owners of the 32,000 square foot multi-tenant mall and former Dairy Queen. And then in December 2012, NERA purchased those properties also. I'm very talkative today. During all these negotiations, NERA and staff were working with the state and environmental consultants to get property remediation and cleanup completed on this site. Staff was also working in the background on site planning, drainage, and other infrastructure improvements, as well as relocating the current tenants. Needless to say, there were many balls in the air and a few hurdles to jump through. And I think Debbie's hair was on fire for at least 12 times before we were able to assemble and sell the property to Walmart, which occurred in June of 2013, where we successfully sold this property, this 5.2 acres, to Walmart for $1.5 million. So today we're celebrating the future home of the Northglenn Walmart Neighborhood Market. I'm pleased to introduce to you Josh Fair and John Ball, Director, and Josh is the Director of Public Affairs and Government Relations for the Walmart Mountain District. Is that right?
Yes.
That's correct. And John, I don't have your title, but I'm sure you'll tell us, won't you? Let's give them both a big hand.
I'm not from Northglenn, so I got to move this up a little bit. Thanks, Rosie. I think we're very excited about this project, and I think what we've heard today, what we knew already, which is that this is a very special site to the folks that live here and have lived here for a long time. And I think while we always take very seriously our role as a neighbor and as a partner with communities, I think to be the only Walmart in Northglenn means something a little bit different. So as we move this dirt and as we build the walls, I just want today to tell everybody and let you know that once we have human beings in the store and on the ground, you will know them very well. You'll know them by their first name. They will know you and make sure that you are getting treated the way that you should be treated. The neighbor is the same way. That's a commitment that we always make to think globally but act locally. And particularly with these stores, which are neighborhood markets. It's in the title, right? These are neighborhood markets. These are supposed to be your local grocery store where you go every day, every other day, a couple times a day if it's up to John. We really want to make sure that this is a successful project, not only for the company, but also for the community and the neighborhood. So with that, John runs all of the neighborhood markets in Colorado, at least for now. They're multiplying rapidly, so we may have to hire another John too. But if you've seen the one just down south here, if you've been into that store, you know what you're getting more or less, and you know that hopefully that's what you signed up for. So, Mayor, I want to thank you for all of your support. John, your team has been great, and Debbie particularly, and the board at NERA, you all have been really tremendous for us to work with, and we really want to get this thing open fast. So I'm going to stop talking so we can start digging. John, I think we're turning it over to you. Sure.
Well, these projects don't happen overnight, and I know that John Pick is going to be acknowledging the staff, but I personally want to tell all the staff that worked on this, thank you very much. We couldn't have done it without you. But there's some outside partners that have been with us from the very beginning, and some new partners that we're looking forward to working with, and I'd like to acknowledge them. Legend Realty, Blake Skinner and Christopher Burton were the brokers for Walmart. They were incredible. They weren't able to make it here today because they're working on another Walmart project right now.
Several, hopefully.
Several. But we'd like to especially thank them. They saw the potential in what it could be. If you looked at this site, many of you know it was definitely, as we would call, blighted, right? And they saw the potential in this site, and they hung in there with us, even though we had some bumps in the road through the process. And again, we'd really like to thank them for their support. Secondly, Galloway. Galloway, thank you. Nathan. They're the planning and architecture and engineering firm on this. And Nathan's here, but Carl, Schmidtmeiner, and Scott, you were incredible to work with. Your team was awesome. Galloway was with us from the very start, even in the preliminary stages when we went to ICSC and met with Walmart while we were still pitching the project to them. They were there right next to us and supporting us. They've helped us meet deadlines and move through the process efficiently and quickly and made our staff very happy because this project has gone very well. So thank you very much. Thirdly, Nino and Moore, the environmental team, Lise. Yeah, absolutely. Boy, oh boy, I got Brownfields 101 in a real big hurry, and Lisa and her team with Nino and Moore helped me with that, and I really want to thank you personally because I've never gone through an environmental cleanup, and they were there to help me through that. They worked endlessly to meet deadlines that in time seemed pretty unrealistic, right, Lise? But they did it, so thank you. And again, thank you. They did all the environmental identification. They went to the state meetings to work with the Colorado Department of Health and Environment, the remediation plan they put together. They actually did the remediation process and doing the testing. In fact, they were out here last week doing testing, which we will be doing for a while longer, but everything looks great. So again, Nino and Moore team I want to personally thank you because I definitely did have a crash course in brownfields and environmental cleanup. Thank you for your patience and all your hard work during that time. I couldn't have done it without you. Fourth, one of our new partners, Mark Young Construction. Everybody raise your hand. We've got a quiet train here. They're our newest partners here. And they are, as you can see, they will be the contractors that are building our new building. We are amazed with all the work that you've already done. And it looks so different, doesn't it? It looks so different. We applaud you and your team for making this new building a showcase project for Northglenn. We can't tell you how excited we are. We're looking forward to working with you. We can't wait to the grand opening in this summer. Is Tim Burton here? I didn't see him come in. Oh, there you are, Tim. Great. A lot of you may not know Tim, but he worked behind the scenes. Tim is a longtime resident of Northglenn. And all these empty buildings had a lot of inventory in it. There was refrigerators, there was heaters, there was all kinds of things in there. Tim voluntarily did this on his own, went and liquidated over $11,000 worth of equipment. Thank you, Tim. We couldn't have done that without you. This is things that didn't go to the landfill, and that was great. And it also gave us $11,000 to do something special with NERA on another special urban renewal project. So, Tim, thank you very much. He actually was a little bit of a police officer there for a while, too, weren't you? He kept close eyes. He kept close eyes on our property at all times to make sure it was safe. And then I know Corey Hoffman isn't here, but I really want to acknowledge him personally. Corey Hoffman is our city attorney, and without his help in contract negotiation and his legal expertise, there is no doubt that we would not be here today. So again, a personal thank you to Corey. He was incredible to work with. There was times that we didn't think this was going to happen, and he was there to make sure it did happen. So a special thank you to Corey. And last but not least, and I don't see, is Fonda here? Anybody from the Colorado Department of Health and Environment? No, boy. Well, he was my savior in this project, savior. So I'm going to give you a little background on this. As you've heard and seen, there's a lot of pieces to this development puzzle. There was an integral puzzle piece that without this the project would not have happened. I can guarantee it would not have happened. I've had the last acknowledgement to Fonda A. We call him Fonda A because his last name is so long, and I've never been able to get it pronounced right. All right, say it again for the whole. Yes, and it's probably it's like 16 letters, and so we just call him Fonda A. And he is with the Colorado Department of Public Health and Environment. In my eyes, he moved mountains to get this project to the finish line. I'm sure you will agree that sometimes government can move a little slow. And that and sometimes that's not always the case, and this was one of those. Fonda amazed all of us. He, as a bureaucratic person, sometimes there can be some struggles in trying to get through the process, but Fonda was pro-business all the way through. He was creative, he thought outside the box, and he found ways that we were able to get all the environmental cleanup done and the NAD delivered to Walmart so that they could purchase a project. So in my view, Vonda, you were a miracle worker in my eyes, and thank you so much. I definitely now have a new respect for environmental cleanup and all the work that goes on in redevelopment. So let's all stand and give a big round of applause to all of our partners, because again, we couldn't be here, and that includes City Council, NERA staff. Thank you. And now I'm going to turn it over to John Peck.
Thank you, Debbie. Again, as Debbie said, we're very pleased to have you here today to celebrate the official groundbreaking of the Walmart Neighborhood Market. It takes a lot of people to make a project of this size of the neighborhood market successful. As Debbie has just acknowledged all of our special partners on this project, I'd like to take this opportunity to thank our city leadership, staff, and support team for everything they did and continue to do to make this project successful. The mayor and city council members have already been introduced and recognized, but I'd like to ask them to stand again and be recognized. Thank you. Again, let's recognize the NERA board and staff for taking this project from the beginning, jumping through the many project hurdles and obstacles, and getting us to this groundbreaking today. And so I'd ask you to stand again and be recognized. Now I'd like to take this time to thank the staff and support who worked endlessly in the background to make this project successful. Easy for me to say. With the following, it was warmer out in the sun, by the way. With the following folks, please stand to be recognized, and I'd like you to hold your applause until the end, because there, as we've said, there are quite a few people that were involved. The members of the Planning Commission, I think Antonio's here, Antonio Escabel. I don't know whether any other members of the Planning Commission are here. The Planning and Development staff, Brooke Svoboda, Travis Reynolds, and Becky Smith. Economic and Development and NERA staff, Debbie Tuttle, Jill Mendoza, and Susan Baca. Yep, back there, Susan. The City Communications staff, Jason Rogers and John Eisel, who are still working while the rest of us are standing here talking. The North Metro Fire and Rescue District staff that helped in this project. I think District Chief Steve Gosselin is here. Yes, Steve, Chief. John Alessio, Kevin Crawford, Gary Moat, and Lindsay Smith. So thank you guys. The Safe Built staff, Monica Bordash and Chad Johnson. The City Clerk's office, who I have not seen here, but they helped as well, Johanna and her team. Public Works, David Willett, Ken Kisselman, and Lori Clark, and Pam Aker. The finance staff, I don't think Jason's here, but they worked with us on this project. And then, of course, Corey Hoffman has been mentioned as well, and Jeff Parker, who is the legal counsel for NERA. So would everyone please give them a big round of applause. Okay, thank you very much. And now the fun part. Would everyone please join us over at the Shovels to celebrate the official groundbreaking of the Northglenn Walmart Neighborhood Market. And I've been told that nobody leaves until all of this dirt has been moved over there. So, you thought this was going to be easy. Huh?
1, 2, 3.